This is Ella Star with your Key Races and Bets podcast for Saturday, June 21st, 2025. This Key Races and Bets podcast is brought to you by Amwager.com, a legal, online, U.S. based horse racing wagering website. Amwager.com has some great betting tools and perks and is legal for residents of most states in the U.S. and covers most tracks in North America as well as many in the rest of the world. Check it out, Amwager.com. You can also get the written version of this podcast, the Key Races and Bets blog, free at Amwager.com. Click on How to Bet and Ella Star's blog. We're going to start with one of two good races on the card at Thistledown near Cleveland, Ohio on Saturday the 21st. These are the Lady Jacqueline Stakes for fillies and the Ohio Derby for males, both for 3-year-olds. The Lady Jacqueline Stakes is race 11 at Thistledown with a post of 5:35 Eastern. The win contenders are Candlelight Hours, Penoir, and Who's My Ring. Candlelight Hours loves to run. She runs very competitively nearly every time she hits the track, resulting in 13 wins and 15 second or third place finishes in 30 races. In other words, Candlelight Hours has only finished worse than third twice in her 30-race career, while earning 10 of those 13 wins at Thistledown, and better still, 2 at the same 9-furlong trip as the Lady Jacqueline Stakes. Only she, Penoir, and Where's My Ring have won at the distance, and Candlelight Hours is going to offer the best odds of 3 by far, as she opens at 12-1, as most of her wins have come against Ohio breds. However, Candlelight Hours has been open, which means not restricted company, 3 times in her career, and she stretches out off a really good 6-furlong prep race in her third start following 9 months off, so she should improve as she has to in stepping up to this level. Best of all, Candlelight Hours won the last 3 times she stretched out from 6 furlongs to a 2-turn race, including for both her wins at this 9-furlong trip. Penoir and Where's My Ring both have credentials to succeed, but may be overbet because they're shipping in from Pimlico and Churchill Downs respectively and appear to be dropping in class, but that might be an illusion. Penoir won at this distance in November in Allowance Company and was recently 4th in the DuPont Stakes on Preakness weekend, but that carries a lower purse in this race. And before that, Penoir won a 3rd-level allowance race. Her best finish in the stakes was a runner-up effort. Where's My Ring won the Grade 3 Gazelle at this distance last April in New York in a race against 3-year-olds only, but has won just 1 of 8 since, and that was an allowance race. Where's My Ring finished 6th as a 2-1 favorite in the Grade 3 Shawnee Stakes 2 weeks ago with no real excuse. Still, the best efforts of Penoir and Where's My Ring previously, if repeated, give them a shot here. In the Lady Jacqueline Stakes, race 11 at Thistledown on Saturday, 5:35 Eastern, WinBet, really only Candlelight Hours is the only horse I consider, and I'll bet her as low as 5-2. She's going to offer a lot of value for WinBet, even if at 4 or 5-1. For the exactas, we can skip the favorites together in the exactas. So the exactas are going to be boxing Candlelight Hours and Penoir, and boxing Candlelight Hours and Where's My Ring. And then for doubles, we want to play Candlelight Hours in race 11, and in the race 12, we want to play Chunk of Gold, McAfee, and Clever Again. That's Candlelight Hours in race 11 and Chunk of Gold, McAfee, and Clever Again in race 12. Moving on to race 12. This is the big one, the Ohio Derby, $500,000. Race 12 at Thistledown on Saturday the 21st, 6:20 Eastern. Win contenders are Clever Again, McAfee, and Chunk of Gold. And for exactas, we'll consider Capo Luca. Clever Again began his career in the spring of 2024, narrowly missing victory by a head. For whatever reason, he was away until this past February, but despite the long layoff and not having a sprint prep first, Clever Again dominated the field 10 to win a rout at a mile and 16th. Leading from start to finish in that race, Clever Again earned a 100 echo-based speed figure, which was pretty strong for a newly turned 3-year-old at that time of year. Next came the Hot Spring Stakes at the end of March, in which Clever Again led from start to finish again, earning a career-best 108 echo-based speed figure, which is the highest earned by any horse in this race ever. In the Preakness after that, 5 weeks ago, Clever Again took the lead at the start from an outside post, but expended a lot of energy in doing so, as well as was pressured by other horses through a faster-than-average opening quarter and half mile and tired to ninth. In this race, the Ohio Derby, starting from the 6th post in the gate, and with none of the 5 inside of him having shown any desire to lead in the early stages, jockey Jose Ortiz can get Clever Again to the front and to the rail and control the tempo from the start the same way Batten Down did when winning the 2024 Ohio Derby. It must be noted, Master Controller and Moplex both earned wins in their most recent races after leading from the start, but they have positions outside Clever Again in the gate, and I assume they're going to have to take second or third early once they see Clever Again has the early lead. If I'm wrong, then the other 2 contenders, McAfee and Chunk of Gold, can pass the tiring pace setters to win. McAfee won his career debut last November at 6 furlongs and finished second beaten ahead in the allowance race at a mile around 1 turn. As with many aspiring 2-year-olds, McAfee was given some time off and returned in March this year, finishing 5th in the Gotham around 1 turn. But then stretched out for 2 turns the first time in the Wood Memorial in April. McAfee still didn't do much running, ending up 5th of 10. However, blinkers were added for the Peter Pan last month. They made a world difference as McAfee raced up close in 3rd, got to within ahead of the leader with an 8th to go and settled for 2nd at the end, less than legs from the winner. That's a great effort that McAfee can improve upon. That was a career best 98 equibase speed figure. It's reasonable to expect he'll run a lot better off the experience of that effort at the same distance as this race, particularly as the dam of McAfee produced 2024 Horse of the Year Torpedo Anna, who won 4 stakes races at this 9-furlong trip last year. Chunk of Gold is the only one of the 10 Ohio Derby entrants to have run in the Kentucky Derby, having rallied to 6th with a quarter mile to run, then fading to 9th. Prior to that, he proved himself at the level with second-place finishes in both the Risen Star Stakes and Louisiana Derby, the latter which earned him a career-best 96 equibase figure. Getting a good inside post for this race, Chunk of Gold could save ground and benefit if Clever Again fails to secure an early lead or just gets tired in the late stages. In the Ohio Derby, race 12 at Thistledown, 6:20 Eastern on Saturday, the 21st of June. I'll start with Clever Again looking for win bets, and I'll consider him at maybe a low odds overlay as low as 3-2. McAfee can be considered for a win bet at 9-5, and Chunk of Gold can be considered for a win bet at 4-1. For the exact, I want to play a couple of them. The first is Clever Again, McAfee, and Chunk of Gold over Capo Luca. And the other is going to be McAfee and Clever Again over Chunk of Gold and Capo Luca. The reason to play these exactas is to maximize profit and minimize loss, short-term and long-term, avoiding exactas combining the 2 favorites, Clever Again and McAfee in 1st and 2nd. So if those come in, we just don't have the ticket because they pay the least of any exactas there is. Don't forget, you can get the written version of this Key Races and Bets podcast, which is the aptly named Key Races and Bets blog, totally free. Go to amwager.com, AMWAGER, click on How to Bet and LStar's blog. If you're not a member, sign up. It's legal for residents of most states and covers most tracks in North America. It's a great small business that really likes the horse player and has some perks and lots of features. I'll be betting at amwager.com all weekend. I hope you will as well. Thanks for listening, and we'll talk to you next week.